Howdy folks, Roman here. Recently had the opportunity to participate in Red Flag 23-6 as Anvil 1-3. I was part of a force ship of F-16s conducting defensive counter-air in the South Lane. In this video, I have included the mass brief, the perspective from the cockpit, and the mass debrief. At the end of the video, I have synced Tacview with Comms to look at the defensive counter-air lane. I've tried my best to highlight the lessons learned, so please go ahead and use the timestamps which are in the video description. Enjoy.
We'll get started with the briefing here. Welcome everybody. Nice 11 o'clock in the morning start, 8 a.m. for all you West Coast guys. Appreciate you guys showing up. This is the 6th installment of our big red flag missions, and we'll be in the caucus today, so if you don't have that downloaded, I don't know how you managed that. Non-mission admin stuff. The server is up right now, I think. It's DCS red flag 23-6, and the password is RF236. All the SRS...
It is not up at the moment.
It is not up.
Would you like it up, or would you like people to pay attention to the brief?
It'll be up at the end of the brief. SRS IP and lot ATC, everything's in here. No mods in the mission, and everyone's going to be using SRS. For the mission settings, we got battle BDA is turned off, server chat's disabled, and all the jets are hot start because I don't want anyone to have any problems and then have to jump in and be 10 minutes behind everyone else. You're just going to be hot start, and we won't have any timing problems. And then please change your DCS name to your call sign that was provided in the sign-up sheet. And then if you have the space, add your squadron that you fly with, and then your own name. And then last thing, this is especially important for the controllers, so Zombie, Merlin, Saber. Can you guys make sure that your SRS recording thing is turned on so that we can, at the end, be able to pull all of those recordings and then kind of stitch them together into the Tacview and hear everyone making mistakes.
Yep, we'll verify that that's checked and turned on before we start the mission.
Sweet. Quick timeline of what's going to happen today. This is going to be a 30-minute full briefing, brief, knee boards, and questions, and then we'll break off into the tactical and flight brief, where Merlin and Saber are going to talk to everyone in the Weasel Deed area, and then Zombie's going to talk to the guys in the DCA area. Server's going to unpause at 11:45. About 30 minutes after that is when the standoff VUL happens. So you guys are going to start pushing. About 15 minutes after that, Weasel VUL happens. Miller time, 1:20. Expected missions completely done at 2 o'clock today. So 3 hours top to bottom. Situation, we got Red Land invaded Bluetopia 7 days ago. They've established a strong foothold with an in-depth IADS. However, they've shot down many of their Red Land Air Force jets, and so they no longer fly over their SAM network. They can't put their SAMs down here in the dense mountains and whatever, so they've left that open for them to go push and do airstrikes through there. We need to deny the Red Land's IADS. They have mobile sites that move daily, and the goal is to find, fix, track, target, engage, and assess all these mobile SAMs. Commander wants us to kill as many mobile SAMs within 20 miles of the FIBA. FIBA's the white dashed line here. 1500 local time, broken clouds 19 to 21,000 feet, and we got winds out of the west. Bullseye is Kataisi, and we'll be taking off from Sanaki. We gotta kill the known SAM sites, so we're gonna stand off them with Talds and JSOWs. And then we're gonna DCA block the red counterattack out of the south, and then you're gonna Weasel indeed the mobile SAMs. We don't want to fly into North Country or South Country, these countries up here. And then make sure that you are being nice and not shooting down other blue players. All right, taxi flow. This kind of picture right here is going to be in your knee boards. All the taxiways are labeled, and they're actually really nicely labeled in the game as well, with big taxiway square letter markers. F-15s are going to be on ramp Bravo along with the F-18 Deed flight. You guys are going to taxi all the way to the end of the runway. Everyone else is going to taxi to Delta and take off from this Delta intersection. It's still over a mile long, so you guys will be fine. Departure, we're going to use this Sanaki West climb departure that I made. It's not completely realistic, but it's realistic enough that you can kind of work off of it. Everyone who's going to Minnesota and Nebraska holds are going to take this Quaff Bimbo route. Everyone who's going to the Texas hold is going to take the Yaka Planck route. So that's Casino Roman 1 and Anvil 1 are going to go down south to Texas. Pretty straightforward.
Question on that. Rick.
Okay.
The kneeboard's got it at 11,020 DME, so
Yeah,
I'm guessing
I
we just use that.
I changed the kneeboard because 15 is actually kind of high to get there in that short amount of time.
Copy. So follow
in the
kneeboard.
in the jet it'll be switched. Yeah, I just didn't change that one. When we come back in, we are going to get vectored to a hold. We've got the Zoe hold and Hanver hold. They're detailed here. They're also detailed in the kneeboards. Then you'll get vectors from the hold to kind of bring you to this dragon approach, and it'll be like a visual approach as you swing around and then overhead brake over runway 27. And all of that's in your kneeboards. The Marshall stack, we've got Gambler, Dice, and Buck up in the Minnesota hold. We've got Jackpot, Badger, Dragon, and Tiger in the Nebraska hold, and Casino, Anvil, and Roman in the Texas hold. All this information is also loaded into the kneeboard, so you'll be able to see that. Make sure you're staying with Sanaki departure until they clear you over to Taxi 2. They'll clear you about when you hit the your finishing point, and they vector you towards your assigned hold. We've got the comms flow here, so you're going to be going through Sanaki ground tower departure. You're going to push to focus, which is on Taxi 2. You're going to go through Taxi 2 if you need to go to the tankers at all. I don't think that anyone's going to need to, maybe the DCA guys, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. All of the Weasel stuff is going to happen on Vacuum, Channel 6, and all the DCA stuff in the south lane is going to happen with Doghouse on Channel 7. You can expect coordinates to be passing on Taxi 2, the focus frequency, and Deed guys are going to get their taskings from Taxi 2, and then push over to Vacuum when they start fighting the SAMs on the east side of the Marshall Limit Line.
Say, Brecky.
Yeah?
Can we go back one slide really quickly?
Yeah, we'll talk about this more.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
We've also got this kneeboard loaded in. It's everyone's jets have all these frequencies preloaded, and you can reference them in the kneeboards as well. This is what it looks. We've got 3 kill boxes in the north, kill box Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, and then these standoff targets just to the east of them. We've got a lead SA2, a lead SA3, and a trail SA2. The 2 lead SAMs are going to be killed by Dragon 2, and the 1 trail SAM is going to be killed by Roman 1. DCA guys are going to be working this area. Your bullseye cuts are from 150 to 100, and from about 25 miles out to 100 miles. You're going to expect to commit on these bandits at 90 miles, and then try to kill them before they get past about bulls 40. This area within that 100 to 150 cut of the South Country is a soft no-fly. If you go into there, I'm not going to be mad at all. Enemy order of battle, they've only got MiG-29s just to make it nice and fun for us. And they've got 8 to 10, maybe 12 guys. We've got known SA2s east of the FIBA and known SA3s. We've got a bunch of unknown location SA6s within the FIBA, so there's 3 to 6 of those spread across those 3 kill boxes. Unknown SHORAD, unknown location SHORAD spread throughout the FIBA, so that's SA15s and SA8s. And then AAA, Shokas and Unguided. If you can find the AAA, we're going to want to kill those as well, but the goal is to kill SA6s, then SHORAD, then AAA. The whole idea of this mission is that we're going to have about 2 phases going on. We're going to have the standoff phase where they're going to kill those known location SAMs, and then we're going to have the Weasel phase where we're going to go in and try to find where all those mobile SAMs are. The whole time while that's going on, we're going to have the DCA guys covering the south lane. So standoff jets and DCA have priority on takeoffs. Get them up first, and then you guys are going to standoff jets are going to remain on station and provide TALD support for anyone else during the Weasel phase, and the reserve and standoff jets will act as DCA as necessary. This is what the standoff phase looks like. So y'all are going to push at 11:30 Zulu mission time. Pushing at 11:30 so that you can start your TALD set. So that's going to be, you're going to drop 1 TALD, drop another TALD a minute later, and then a couple minutes after that, you're going to drop a JSOW. so that the TALDs are over the target when the JSOW hits. That gives you the best chance that the JSOW isn't going to get targeted by the SA-15s in and around that area. After you do that, you're going to reset so that you can drop on the middle and south kill boxes. And then same thing is going to be going on with Dragon 2. You guys are going to set your do your TALD set on the lead SAMs, and then you're going to reset and drop your TALDs on the north kill box. Everything's going to impact at around 1140. And Casino, if you guys have the harms, you can use this to kind of reference when you want to shoot your pet shots at those harms. And then you guys are going to hold and await TALD taskings or listen in on the Weasel Freak to see if anything needs to happen. For the Weasel phase, we're going to push the outside SAMs first. So Alpha and Charlie, that's the north and south kill box. And then 10 minutes later, we're going to push the center SAM. So center kill box. We don't want to have the center guys get boxed in by those outer SAMs. So we're going to kind of fold it outside in. And then the deed guys are going to be pushed into an aggressive hold at like 1140 so that they're ready to go as soon as a tasking gets passed to them, and they can go blow it up before the SAM starts moving. And then Anvil, you guys are still just doing your own stuff down south, making everyone happy. Miller time at 12:30, which is going to be 60 minutes after the start of the standoff phase. All right, standoff guys, your waypoints are precise, so you can just drop JSOWs onto those waypoints. You got the lead SA2, the lead SA3, and the trail SA2 back here. This is in your knee boards, so you can have all of the timings that need to happen, but basically you're going to hit your drop point and pump out TALDs, spin around, have your dash 2 come in, pump out TALDs, spin around, and then just finagle it so that you drop the JSOW at the distance, altitude, and airspeed so that it gets there at the right time. JSOWs are going to impact at 1140, and the pet shots can happen at 1139 to 40 if you want. All right, Weasels. We've got Gambler, Dice, and Jackpot. So Gambler and Jackpot are going to be pushing in first to get these guys turned on and blowing up the search and track radars. So you need to locate and disable those, and then you're going to send those coordinates of those SAMs to focus. So you're going to be on a Weasel frequency while you're fighting, calling defensive Magnum shots, killing like kill SAM, killbox SA6, killbox Bravo, stuff like that. But then to facilitate the fight over here, we have to pass the coordinates on the other frequency so we're not blocking everything up. So yeah, Focus is going to write those coordinates down, and then he'll pass them to the deed guys who are sitting and waiting on that frequency as well. So Gambler 1, Killbox Alpha, Dice 2, Killbox Bravo, and Jackpot 3, Killbox Charlie. Your waypoints are going to draw a box on the map. So any SAMs that are inside your box, you kill. Any SAMs that are outside your box, let someone else deal with it until it sounds like they can't handle it. The deed jets, so you guys are going to get your coordinates from Taxi 2. We got Buck, Tiger, and Badger. Badger's actually F-18s. I changed that on the knee boards, but not on here. So you may be tasked with any kill box, but these are kind of the preset defaults. So you guys are going to be going to Killbox Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, respectively. And so you guys are going to be holding in your Nebraska and Minnesota holds. And then when we think that SAMs might be starting to die, we're going to push you a little closer in so that you can be not as far away and ready to go as soon as people start calling you for stuff. And waypoint 3 is just loose right here in the center of the no man's land, and you can edit that waypoint to a target point wherever you want it. Or you can edit any other waypoint, I don't care. And so you're going to get smack taskings from Focus, who's going to let you know where all those bad guys are. All right, so the note for Weasels and Deed. The goal is F2T2EA, find, fix, target, track, engage, and assess. So find and fix, the Weasels are going to use their HTS to find the SAMs and get PGM2 tracks or better using the TGP, and then they're going to pass that location to Focus, who's going to assign it to the Deed aircraft. The target, track, and engage, the Weasels are going to suppress and engage the search and track radars so that the Deed F-15s and F-18s can engage the launchers associated with that site. And then to for the assess, we want to add an extra level of requirement for the DEED airplanes. We expect photographic BDA for every SAM site that is engaged. We don't need you to post that. Like, we don't need to pretend that we've data linked it back to command. Just at the end of the mission, post your screenshots of all the blown up SAMs. So F-15s, you can use the record function on the MFD because it's super cool. And then the F-18s, you can just take a screenshot and roughly crop it. It doesn't have to look nice. It's just to add an extra thing for you to do. Simplified 3 lines. So the Viper's going to be passing these 3 lines back on the focus frequency. So they'll give you the target coordinates, most likely in lat long. So that'll be degrees, minutes, decimal minutes. And then the target elevation in the description. So it'll be 4 SA6 launchers or tells or whatever. And then they're going to give a remark with like, this is in Killbox Alpha or this is in Killbox Bravo. Just kind of add in extra information as they see fit. All right, to beat this to death one more time, this is how it's going to work comms-wise. We've got 2 frequencies. The F-15s, the DEED guys, and the Weasels are going to check in on focus. The Weasels are going to go do Weasel shit over here, neutralize the SAMs. So they're going to be on the Weasel Freak, calling Gambler 1, Magnum SA6, Killbox Alpha, Defensive SA6, whatever, defending SA15, Killbox Charlie, all that stuff. They're going to neutralize the SAMs. And like once the area seems like, okay, yeah, no one's going to get shot when they come in, when DEED guys come in to blow this up. You don't have to kill every SAM, but it has to feel like there's a bubble of safety around the SAM that you're going to have them go blow up. So you're going to report that SAM location. Focus is going to write that down. He's going to give the coordinates to DEED. DEED can also write down the 3 lines if they're on the frequency and ready to hear them. DEED's going to push in, destroy all the launchers, ask for support from the Weasels. If they do get locked up by something, Weasels can start shooting harms at people. And then these guys are going to report their BDA and request a new tasking over on focus once they're done. So they'll push out and kind of like reset. Merlin is going to go over this with all of us in the... Sorry, my headset just turned off. Merlin's going to go over this in the 15 minutes after this briefing real quick. Cap guys, so you guys are going to work this cap location right here. It's between your waypoints 2 and 3 is kind of the cap axis I want you to hold. And then I've drawn out the box of all the kill boxes off to the north here. You can expect the bad guys to be coming in from this way, east to west. And the commit line is roughly about here. So that's the 90-mile line on Bullseye. We've got the hard no fly, so we don't want to just go flying into the South Country wherever. But if there's bad guys nearby and you like do a crank and you defend out this way, our ambassadors in South Country are prepared to whatever. ALR low, we don't want anyone to die to the east of this 50-mile line. ALR high, we expect you to kill these guys. If there's bad guys within 50 miles, you have to kill them even if you sacrifice yourself, because we don't want them to start pushing and killing everybody who's doing weasel shit up here. You are going to have your own AIC who's going to be purely dedicated to you, Doghouse. And then you're going to be on your cap station from 11:30 Zulu through 12:30 Zulu, or until the weasels leave their kill boxes, whichever is later.
Reki, if you don't mind if I interject, would you mind the call sign being Goliath instead of Doghouse?
All right, he could be. It's all going to be labeled as Doghouse, but call him Goliath.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Yeah. DCA Conflow example. I'll let you guys read through this. You can pull up the briefing in the briefing products, and you can read through this if you haven't interacted with AIC before. But this kind of gives you a good idea of what you need to be saying and what can, how it kind of flows. All right, reserve guys, you can fire pet shots on these lead SA6 or lead known SAMs. So this is an SA2, this is an SA3. You don't want to fire it at that because there's going to be JSOWs blowing that shit up. But you want to make sure that the SA15s don't blow up the JSOWs. So you can pet shot the SA15s that are going to be in this area. So So you can time out at 11:40 or a little earlier. Might be good as well. So like 11:39. And then you're going to establish your hold between Bulls and waypoint 2, kind of like this. And you're going to be trying to listen to as many frequencies as you can to maintain high SA. But they're going to expect you to be on vacuum frequency. So you can hear if a Viper desperately needs a harm shot somewhere, you're ready to go. If DCA needs your help, you're going to be a couple frequencies away. And if anyone dies, you might, like if everyone in Killbox Charlie dies, you're going to be the new Killbox Charlie. All right, we've got support assets. We've got 2 tankers. The shell tankers are for the MIPers guys. The Texaco tankers are for all the normal people. So that's 251.1 with 101 X-ray and 262.1 102 X-ray. That's in your knee board, so you'll be able to find that out. All right, we got IAD script running. You guys most of you have done this IAD script with us before, but it's a Cream Zone Skynet thing, so they're going to be able to detect harms, and they will turn off to harms. But for this mission in particular, we have made the guys a little extra aggressive, so the harms will not keep them suppressed for as long as they usually are in these missions. So you can think that the harm might suppress it on the scale of 30 seconds to 2 minutes, a random number in between there. If the SAM detects it and if it's okay with that. So you need to hard kill the track radars before bringing in DEED Strike Eagles to blow it up. All right, win conditions and DLOs for this mission. The win conditions is that we want 75% of mobile SA-6 launchers and search and track radars destroyed with the proof collected from the DEED guys. Max 1 out of 4 DEED jets killed. Max 1 out of 4 weasels killed, unless they sacrifice themselves, directly saving a striker, which will be on the fly call. 25% of the mobile SHORAD SA-15s and SA-8s destroyed, and then we want 0 DCA jets killed, unless the red guy gets into that ALR high zone where it's okay if you die. But we'd still rather you not die. Desired learning objectives. All right, real quick.
The BDA, like, is it being determined by DCS or by the screenshots in our BDA?
Mostly from the screenshots, but we'll check if it's 75% off of Tacview to count the number of killed. If you show one smoking and it's still like technically alive in Tacview, we'll count it as dead.
Copy, thanks.
So desired learning objectives, we want to manage a 2-frequency war in the Weasel lane. So that's the focus and vacuum back and forth going on there. We want to make sure we've got proper targeting, sorting, and all the calls in the DCA lane. And then we want to make sure people are dynamic and actively engaged to react to situations and provide the correct controlling authority with needed SA. So as much as I've said how these frequencies work, if something happens and you're like, I think focus needs to know this information, let them know that information. They got a lot of controllers over there. You can also just let the controller that you're talking to right now let focus know. But keep that active and engaged mindset going. All right, I just did this real quick, just kind of show you how the standoff works in my mind and how I want it to look on Tacview. We're going to push Roman 1, which is in blue, and Dragon 2. They're going to push across the martial limit line, go forwards, dump their TALDs 1 minute apart. I'd recommend you guys do this with your wingman in trail about 8 miles behind, and you can drop 1 minute apart. TALDs are going to go in. You guys are going to spin around, drop the JSOWs. The JSOWs go way faster than the TALDs because they're going to go impact the ground as opposed to fly super slow forever. And then the JSOWs are going to impact while the TALDs are overhead these SAMs. And then you guys are going to shift up to the north, throw a couple more TALDs into each kill box just to wake everything up so that the Weasel guys can start HTS locking all these guys before they have to be the ones in the SAM rings waking up SAMs. And then you guys are going to set up in a hold to kind of wait and see if anyone needs more TALDs pumped in.
Hey, Reki, real quick question.
Yep.
Is Focus going to be responsible for maintaining the attack plan and making sure everyone stays on timeline, or are we going to assume that Roman and Dragon know when to push?
We're gonna assume that Roman and Dragon know when to push, but if they're not, you're the one there to tell them that they need to scooch their pooch.
Solid copy.
All right, and then this is kind of what the weasels look like. The gambler and jackpot flights are gonna push early, and then we're gonna push the deep guys behind them to kind of wait for tasking. These guys are going to start doing weasel shit in those kill boxes, and then we're going to push the dice 2 in the middle, and the deed flight in there. He's going to start doing weasel shit, and then everyone's going to start blowing shit up. Pretty straightforward, and then you're going to have to go back. The deed guys are going to have to go back, get more tasking, and go back in. So it's going to be a back and forth kind of thing. What we don't want to have is see F-15s making circles over the kill box, because bad guy Sams might not all be on. They might turn on late. So you don't want to be waiting on the kill box, waiting for tasking. So you want to be outside, but you don't have to go all the way back to your hold way out here. Emergency and Nordo procedures. You can squawk 76 for Nordo. You can squawk 7700 for any other emergency. And you can land at any airport except Sanaki, just because Sanaki's actually busy. Or if you do have to land at Sanaki, try to be a gentleman about it. If you have a bullshit DCSism desync, you can reslot if you have time to rejoin with your flight. If you die, you're dead, and you can watch in F10. All right, we have about 3 minutes for any questions, then we'll break out into our separate groups.
Quick question about the MiG-29s. Are they likely to be Sierras or Alpha Golfs?
I'm sorry, what's that?
The MiG-29s, are they likely to be Sierras or Alphas or Golfs in terms of Fox capability?
Yeah, they're S's. They have the active air-to-air missile, whichever. I don't remember the number for that.
Thank you.
Will the standoff flights be on Taxi 2 or on the northern CEDCOM?
So you guys are going to be on Taxi 2 to start, and then we'll push you on to the northern CEDCOM when you cross the Marshall Limit Line. So you'll be listening in there, kind of like the reserve guys, to see if there's anyone who's getting shot at a whole ton and you want to throw a TALD in to kind of help spoof the SAMs.
We're gonna
do a pretty extensive comm brief, specific with the seed deed and standoff guys after this.
Yeah.
And Reki, one more thing very quickly for everyone checking in with focus at the beginning. I am going to request that the way that we do this check-in when it comes to munitions and to the flights, check in saying what aircraft you are, how many of you there are, and start with your air-to-air missiles. Preferably, please do this in Fox 3s, Fox 1s, and Fox 2s. We're not expecting anybody to run Sparrows this morning, so that'll be a 0. So for example, if you had 4 AMRAMs and 2 AIM-9s, you'd say state 402. And then you would give your air-to-ground munitions such as 2x GBU-10, 4x GBU-16, T-Pod, and also give your playtime in 1 step plus whatever many minutes for your playtime, so we can keep track of that and keep sure that we have everyone marked out as they need to be.
Wait.
And server's not up yet, correct?
Grim?
Server is up and paused at the moment.
Is it going to stay paused? We might have to.
It should. Somebody can hop in there and
I just don't see it coming up with that label or that name.
DCS red flag server should be up.
It's there now, but do we have a password posted somewhere? Apologies.
Yeah.
The start of the brief.
Yep.
Gotcha. Copy.
I also changed some of the IP addresses in there just in the last 30 minutes. So if you're relying on those, you need to look at it again.
Okay, I'll go check that again because I was seeing a different mission the last couple minutes.
Yep. So check that again. It's we're using a different server this time. This is our own servers that we host now. Well, we don't host it, but they're ours.
And did you say that is going to be in the updated briefing?
So in the briefing, slide 2 has all the stuff in there. I've typed it in.
Okay, thank you.
Question about the standoff. So it mentioned MLL. What is that?
That's the Marshall Limit Line. So that'll be your like waypoint 2. It's this big blue line here. The idea being that east of that line is bad guy territory, and west of that line, or east of the line is where bad guys are going to engage us. West of the line is where we're confident bad guys aren't going to do anything to us.
Okay, got it. And then for dropping the talls and the JSOWs, just to confirm, all of that should be happening at, I guess, waypoint 3. I'm from Dragon 2. Is that correct?
Yeah, hang on. Where's here? All right, answer this question, then we'll break out real quick. So where the heck is it? Here it is. So yeah, your drop point is waypoint 3, so you're going to drop at waypoint 3 facing waypoint 4 and 5. So how it's going to work is you're going to fly in at 28,000 at 0.8 Mach. Once you hit waypoint 3, you're going to go pickle talled, spin around. Your wingman 1 minute behind is going to go pickle talled, and then you're going to both spin around, and then you're going to try to drop your JSOWs within this 30-second launch window. And so you're going to drop 2 JSOWs at each SAM. So you can split that up however you want. Make sense?
Yep,
Kinda?
got it. Thank you.
Clear as mud. I just I real quick want to show you what knee boards we have for everyone. The point for Dragon is wrong, so I apologize for that. It was already plugged in, so I couldn't change it. My bad. It's on the F10 map as like one of those IP points. You've got your taxiway diagram, the climb procedures, the hold plan, the visual approach plan, the kind of hold and approach plan. This is everyone's frequency for their stuff, and then their auxiliary their TACANs. So you can use X-ray and Yankee for that. And then your mode 1 and mode 3 codes. Comms flow is the same as the other one. All the comms listed out, and then we have a playbook for each person. So this is showing them what they need to do, what times they need to know, and what frequencies they have to use. All the time numbers for the standoff guys, kind of how we want the frequency changing to work with the weasel guys and the times that you got to push. Deed guys, how we want our your check-in to go, and then how we want your BDA BHA report to go. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Reserve guys, where you need to be, and then all the information for the support assets. All right, super cool. Let's go ahead and break out then. And DCA guys, you guys go to DCA. Everyone else, we're going to go to the Taxi 2 frequency real quick and talk to Merlin.
Thank you, Ricky.
Sweet.
Jackpot 3-1, radio check. Jackpot 3-1, focus, got you 5x5. Copy 5x5. Casino 4 checking in. Casino 4-1, focus, got you 5x5. Copy. Alright, one's green jet. 3 shin. Actually, question, I got the IFF set in the jet. Do we need to set it outside on SRS as well? Negative, focus Badger 3-1, check it on 269. Badger 3-1, focus, got you 5x5. Do the same, thanks. Anvil 1, SRS check. Anvil 1, focus, got you 5x5. Pushed in. Back. Tiger Flight, push 2669. One check. 2. 3. Ground, Anvil 1, 4 ship Vipers, ready to taxi. Anvil 1, Sanaki ground, clear to Sanaki via the Plonk departure. Squawk 1111. Ripple. Mode 3 is going to be 11. QNH is 299 or 2. Taxi via, or correction, taxi runway 27 via November Delta. Anvil 1, flight transition, 1111, TR9 27 November Delta.
Sanaki ground, Roman flight, 2 F-18s ready for taxi.
Roman flight, Sanaki ground, clear to Sanaki via the Plonk departure. Squawk 1 2 1 1. Ripple. Mode 3 is 1 2. Roman H-72 taxi 27 via November Delta.
Say again. Plonk departure, taxiing to runway 27 via Delta. Roman flight. We're right next to Delta. If you just FTOS.
Cool. Left, right, round.
Sanaki ground, Buck 4 ship at the
Last station calling, say again.
Sanaki ground, this is Buck 1 4 ship.
There's no echo on the chart, so we're somewhere around Bravo on the ramp. Buck flight. Correction, Buck flight. Sanaki ground, clear to Sanaki.
I think you passed it. Those are right there.
Tempo departure. Squawk 2211. Mode 3 22. Runway 27 via November and QNH 29er 2.
Sanaki ground, Buck 1's clear to Sanaki via the Bimbo departure. Be advised, Parrot Sour, taxi via November to runway 27 2992. Buck 1.
Where are we on the ramp?
Just F2 and look at where I am. Ground Casino flight ready to taxi.
Shit, so I gotta turn around, huh? Sorry about that. Last station calling, say again?
Sanaki ground, this is Casino flight. We're ready to taxi.
Casino flight, Sanaki ground. Clear to Sanaki via the Plonk departure. Squawk. Flight 4041. Mode 3 is 40. Taxi 27 via November Delta.
Casino.
So there's no echo on the chart.
It's Hornets cutting you off.
Dirty boat people. We have taxi clearance to November Delta, and we got Bravo Echo.
Yeah, I think you just got to get by the labels that they find in the little blue board.
I'll just pull up because we're taking first, so this works out anyway.
Yep.
radar checks, and then push 3.
Camber 1 check.
One's ready.
He's ready.
You up Prime 3. Anvil 1 check.
3.
Tower Anvil 1, ready in sequence 27, 4x15 interval. Anvil flight standby. Anvil. Waypoint 1, is that Texas? Does anybody have SA on where that, from the frag order point is?
I don't think it's Texas because it's east. Oh wait, you know what? It could be actually. Sure. I loaded the MDC and I've got SA on Texas, Bullseye 20612.
Good call, Anvil. Altimeter check. 2992, showing 0050. Bullseye 26819.
3 set.
Yeah, I'm looking at their frag order. Texas, or waypoint 1 is somewhere inside of Texas, so we'll hold around it.
Trying to figure out if he's letting the strike heroes take off first, because I thought it was supposed to be us.
Yeah, we have 12 minutes till VUL starts.
Anvil 1 fly. Senaki Tower.
Anvil 1 go.
Anvil 1. Line up and wait 27.
Anvil 1, line away 27.
Select Tower, Casino Flight, with you at Bravo, ready to go.
Worship lineup, 3 in the slot. I'll take the far side.
Senaki Tower, this is Roman Flight 13 cell, waiting on Bravo for a takeoff. I'm between you guys, right?
Wait firm.
June breaks up. Fusion breaks up. Anvil 1 flight. Wind is from 287 at 4 knots. Left turn approved. Runway 27 cleared for takeoff. Bye.
So 1, clear for takeoff, 27. Run them up.
Flight Tower, Buck 1's holding short departure on 27, ready for departure.
1 screen jet.
2 screen. Buck 1's an XL, good evening. Line up and wait 27. Buck 1, line up and wait, runway 27.
Senaki Tower, casino flight.
Senaki Tower, here, stand by, break Anvil 1, leaving my airspace, contact radar at 261.3, safe flight.
Anvil 1, push departure. Visuals up, visual. Anvil check. 2, 3. Departure Anvil 1 flight, SO 4000 for 25,000.
Anvil 1 flight Senaki radar identified. You can climb block flight level 230, flight level 260.
Level 1, clear the block, flight level 2326. I have brief, but rejoin the route.
Two settle.
It's going to be annoying with all the Vipers on that.
Anvil 1 flight, just confirm your mode 1 squawk, 1-1.
Naval 1's affirmative, I got 1-1, 1-1. Actually, now that I look at it through SRS, says mode 1's off, mode 3's squawking 1-1, 1-1. Does everybody else have that?
That's what I see as well. Stand by.
Anvil 1 flight, after passing Plonk, turn left heading 085, direct Texas.
Level 1, 085 after Plunk, direct Texas.
There's a way to fix that, but I can't do it now.
Start the left-hand turn.
Departure, Buck 1 flights with you. 4,000 for 11,000, West Climb Bimbo departure.
Buck 1 flight Senaki radar identified. You can climb block flight level 270, block, correction, flight level 310.
Those coming up.
And Buck 1 clear clock 27 to 310. It's time of things. 2 to 1 on the left side of the IFF panel. When you're able to go heads down, there's a switch. It says mode 3, mode 3, off, mode 1, mode 3. Select the mode 1, mode 3 position.
That works, good call. dash.
Anvil 1 flight, free call focus on button 5.
Anvil 1 push 5. I'll be 300 in the climb once we roll out on 085. Anvil check. 2. 3. Focus, Anvil 1, DCA flight, checking in, it's fragged. 4 ship Vipers, 2400 plus. Request alpha check, Bullseye.
Anvil 1, focus, standby for check-in.
These clouds are like right in our block, so it's level at 23,000.
And can you give me a say on that switch? Focus, radar contact, alpha check, Bullseye, 229er, 35.
Anvil 1, good check.
Next to the dials.
Anvil 1, anchor, Texas.
The brief position, Anvil 1.
Toggle switch. Put it in the bottom position.
Set, thanks. Anvil 1, anchor, Texas, Angels 26, block 23.
Anvil 1, Texas, block 2326.
We're breaking out right.
One said max endurance.
Focus, Buck 1 flights with you, 18,000 for block 2731.
1, focus, loud and clear, radar contact, standby for check-in.
Buck 1.
Buck 1, alpha check, Bullseye, 30239.
And Buck 1, Alpha check, sweet, be advised, Paris Sour, Jackal Sour.
Buck 1, focus has Parrot Sour, Jackal Sour, continue check-in.
And Buck 1, 4 ship F-15s loaded with 4x GBU 12s, 3x CBU 97s as frag, no alibi.
Buck 1, fly Minnesota, Angels 31, block 27.
And Buck 1, continue Minnesota, block 310270, Buck 1.
Anvil ops check. 1 is 10-3 feeding.
2 10-3 feeding.
Focus, this is Rowan flight, times 2 F-18s, 1 times Fox 3s, 2 times Fox 2s, we got 2 J South, 6 times toll, 17 miles from Marshall.
Say again.
Roman 1, focus, stand by for check-in.
Don't bump my throttle limit.
Roman 1, focus, Alpha check, Bullseye 22725.
Full ups checks, 2033, 10.2, tank speeding okay. 1. Alright, we're gonna start the Texas hold, so left-hand turn coming around.
Roman 1, Alpha check, Bullseye 22422.
2 to 1, I've got 1131, Zulu.
1, thanks.
Roman 1, focus.
Focus Roman 1.
Roman 1. Roman 1, repeat check-in.
Focus
Get
Roman
clear
1,
space here, let's
check,
climb it up, get above it, and we'll push.
221426.
Camera 1, check.
These clouds are
Camera
gonna
1,
be right in the
focus,
tank
stand by for check. Break, Roman 1, stay stable.
Aircraft in our block, 10 o'clock. 1.
And we have 1 times Fox 3s, 2 times Fox 2s, 2 times J South, 6 times.
Disregard right in the cloud deck. Head to their block. Focus Anvil 1, pushing cap.
Anvil 1, push, button 6, contact, vacuum.
Push 7.
Anvil 1, Goliath, radar contact, Alpha check, Bullseye, 2249, flight suite.
Level 1, good check, level 24,000, pushing cap. State 2400 plus.
Goliath. Goliath, single group Bullseye, 112, 75, 36,000, track west, hostile, single contact.
Anvil. Damn, already within 90. Alright, Anvil, go, offset box. 3-4, pick up 25-mile trail, quick split.
3. Dash 674. Disregard. Goliath, single group maneuver.
Anvil, Benton. 1's in, 9.9.
2's in 9.8. 3's in 9.8.
9.8. And 3.4, yardstick tower.
Segment. And 2
206 tower strip. One yardstick suite. Check 10 left.
Tower.
Just climbing up above the deck here.
Single group maneuver flank northeast.
Guess that's our feeler flights. Maybe the intel is accurate. We plan to hold on a 120 axis about 10 miles east of the far cap point for our 20-mile legs. Looks like it's clear above 27,000.
Three-stack entry. Yeah, be advised, you guys are counting.
One. Expect the initial cranks to the right.
Goliath, single group Bullseye 107, 92, 28,000, track east, hostile, pushing out of the Dow. For update, reference 300. Anvil 1, Goliath, recommend reset cap. 4 hot left.
Two breakout. Try to pick a blind left on that end of the hook turn.
For rollout 170.
Goliath, Anvil 1, expect 20-mile legs on the cap. Hot heading, 120.
Goliath.
And there is a wedge left 4 miles.
Visual.
Should strip 2 miles. 1.
Forward in place left, 120.
Anvil 2 shackle.
left, 030.
Intel's right, expect warship ladder in 2 minutes. These clouds are getting higher and higher. Do it that way. Variable ops check, 1 is 9.1. 2 8.7. 3 9.1. 4 9.0. I get for being fucking blind. I swear it looked like you were turning away from me. Left turns. Yeah. Goliath, Anvil 1, Strobe, Bullseye, 114, 67.
Anvil 3 hot left. Anvil 1, strobe range 9. The strobe range 70, 35,000, hot hostile. Stand by for picture. Goliath, 3 group 11 wide. Weighted south, track west. Lead group Bullseye 106, 103, 35,000. Hostile, single contact. South trail group 20,000. Hostile, 2 contacts. North trail group 34,000. Hostile, single contact.
Anvil 1, say depth.
Anvil 1, Goliath, depth 15.
2, mud 6, 1 fog. 2 mud 6.
Goliath, lead group maneuver.
Alright, 3 group Vic, 11 deep.
Goliath, single group maneuver hot. Correction, lead group.
Set up a grinder. And second element in will probably take the heavy group.
Okay. Goliath, lead group 90 miles, recommend commit.
Anvil, commit 120. Let's hold 0.9 until they're within 60 and then commit criteria or profile.
Crew passing.
TT. I'm Timber Sweet on 3 group Vic inbound.
There's 60 miles, recommend 1 and 2 pickup, mid group. Gate, cut off 110.
Level 1 hot left.
Anvil 4, target lead group Bullseye 113, 80, 36,000. Anvil 4, Goliath, lead group 45 miles. Force gate right. Anvil 4, Strobes. Anvil 4, Goliath, strobe range 29, 34,000, hot hostile.
Gate. Two target, middle group. Sort, northern.
Anvil 3, Goliath, lead group 25 miles. Anvil 4, outright. Burn through's 30 miles.
First defending. Control first defending.
3-4, flow 280. Goliath, lead group maneuver.
Check right 300. Anvil 1, target middle group, sorted southern, 35,000.
Anvil 1, Goliath, middle group, 40 miles.
Anvil 2, targeted middle group, 36,000, sorted northern.
Anvil 1, Fox 3, middle group, sorted southern, crank right.
Anvil 2, Fox 3, middle group, crank right.
Goliath, middle group.
Anvil 1, outright.
3, outright.
Anvil 1, 2, below 290.
Anvil 3, target group, Bullseye, 11572, 32,000. Goliath, middle group, maneuver drag. Group Bullseye, 11770, 31,000, passing middle group.
Anvil 1, passing.
Anvil 1, continue. Anvil 3, Strobes, trail group. Goliath, strobe range, 31,000, hostile. Anvil 1, Fox 3, trail group, crank right. Connection, Anvil 1, 3, Fox 3, trail group.
Anvil 1, spike 29. East.
Anvil 1, spike range, 30,000, flank, southwest, hostile. Anvil 4, outright.
Anvil 1, outright.
Anvil 3-4, flood, 290. Goliath, middle group, north arm, Bullseye, 124, 68, 24,000, hostile, passing, group Bullseye, 124, 68, 23,000, track southeast hostile. Port check block.
First spike. Target group, Bullseye, 12371, 20.
Anvil 2, Fox 3, middle group, north arm, 30,000, crank right. Anvil outright.
beam, maneuver, beam, southwest. 4 hot right. Anvil 3.
Spike 29 Fox.
Anvil 3, Fox 3, Group Bullseye, 12460, 32,000. Cranking right.
Anvil 4, Fox 3, leading edge Bullseye, 135, 57, 14,000.
Goliath, all groups, beam, southwest. Anvil 3, outright.
Anvil 1, hot left.
Anvil 3, shot trash.
Anvil 1, 2 should bin, short skate, 1 target, hot left.
Goliath, middle group, north arm. Hot. Maneuver hot.
Anvil 1, targeted, middle group north arm, 23,000.
Anvil 1, middle group, north arm, Bullseye, 144, 51, 12,000.
Anvil 1, targeted group, Bullseye, 132, 60, 20,000. 2 sanitize. Anvil 1, Fox 3, group 133, 58, 19,000, right. Choose defensive.
Three, four, hot right. Look low.
Anvil 1 outright. 2 clear split. Anvil 1 defensive.
Tally splash. Anvil 3, middle group, north arm, bra, 110, 16, 15,000. Hot hostile. Anvil 3, clean.
Anvil 2 status.
Anvil 1, Goliath, Anvil 2, down, Bullseye. Unlucky jet, Bullseye, 14643. Middle group, north arm, Graw, 110, 7, 8. 3-4, outright. Hot hostile. About abort 300, mid 15.
Yeah, it's hard to get this many jets off.
Yeah,
and
especially
I
in
need
small
to
air.
think about how long that actually takes.
I think that there was one time, last time we did it in Nevada, we had like time slots for people to start the startups and taxis, stuff like that.
I believe this was pretty much initially just a get ready and go. As soon as we fired up, you probably were supposed to start taxiing. But
yeah.
Regardless, it was good. Sorry we were late. Essentially, we started the mission and we were way late on the mission.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a big deal. control we just basically held everybody a little bit longer and passed some Rolexes and then started pushing people in as we saw you guys' shots going out. So
you want to
That's
do
actually
a formal
really
debrief,
good.
Ricky? Sorry.
Yeah, I'll let you run it now.
All right.
Cream. You drive.
Okay.
We'll formalize it a little.
So we'll do. I've got this template here. It's kind of abbreviated. I'm gonna try to go down the list in order from our thing. So if we could keep it brief, no pun intended or pun intended, I'm not sure. So what did you guys brief? What was the plan? What actually happened? Lessons learned? Any like exceptions on things that didn't go? Things that we need to, talk about? That's sort of up to you. And then these are tactical things, and then we want to hear about admin exceptions where, near misses, things like that we need to solve for next time. So let's start with Anvil 1.
Sweet. We briefed we're gonna go out, do grinder ops, departure uneventful, marshalling capping uneventful. First couple waves were good, and then we had one leaker that got through and got 3 of us. So that degraded the entire DCA lane. Had casino come down and cover when got gas came back. We were able to hold it, but probably some DCS isms in there. Lessons learned. They were all strobing, so with the jamming, it shortened all our timelines. And I don't know if we were overly prepared for that kind of presentation. Anything else from the other guys? Nope, good.
That pretty much sums it up.
Were they jamming? The MiG-29s were jamming?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I'll take a note and restrict jamming to AI.
Another thought would be, were you guys in track wheel scan the whole time or range wheel scan?
No, range wheel
Range wheel
scan. Trying to
search.
get single target tracks on them.
Yeah.
We get burned through like inside of 30, but it just compresses all the timelines.
Yeah. TWS can help with that if you want to do it that way. It's still very janky, I know, in the Viper, trust me. But just a thought, they can't jam, or at least the AI won't jam if they're not hard locked. So anyway, cool, thank you. Moving down to Roman 1.
Yep. Well, we got stuck at the airport before takeoff for quite a while, so we were already late by the time we took off. We expedited and were able to release other stuff, but we released our JSOWs on just the waypoint that was given to us because we couldn't see the target due to cloud coverage. The timing seemed very well. Not 100% sure if we destroyed everything. Later we tried to VDA. I think we posted some pictures, and I cannot tell exactly what's destroyed or not. But everything went very much to plan after we were in the air. Like I said, the only problem we have was the departure. We were very stuck. Everything else was fine.
Okay, talk to me about, what do you mean by stuck? Just waiting for other people in front of you?
Yeah, well, there was only one flight in front of us, and I don't know why we didn't get the lineup and take off anytime sooner. Because they were there for quite a while, and we were stuck behind them.
Got it.
Yeah, can I say something to that?
Sure.
As a tower perspective, someone lined up at Echo, and someone lined up at Echo Ramp. So that was quite difficult to see who line up at Echo and who line up at Echo Ramp, and just get rid of them on Echo first, and then I could line up the people on Echo Ramp.
Okay. All right. We will take a look at that next time. Okie doke. Okay. Dragon 2.
Did he just hopped out, Saint? Are you in here?
I am, yes. I think you're kind of discussed it, right? I think we got up there late. Weren't quite sure when to go, but I think we kind of confirmed a push. And without a specific push time and that kind of schedule, it was a little more ad hoc probably than ideal. But we got off the TALs and the JSOWs. I think looking at the Tacview, I think both radars were hit. So in the end, I think that happened. And then for Killbox Alpha, I don't know that we ever really. I think we may have. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't sure where Killbox Alpha was, but I think AIC directed us towards. They had us launch TALs at something that later on, quite a bit later on. So hopefully things worked out, but it was a little. Yeah, we'll try to be a little more kind of on schedule next time.
Okay, looking at the Tacview real quick on departure, it's a little confusing because at Nellis we kind of line up in the arming zone or whatever that is, that little spot right before the airfield. And in this case, should we have done that? Should we have done that? There seems to be two different methods here. I saw people lined up on the ramp, so we parked next to them so we could let other traffic through, which seemed like a smart idea, but we'll have to brief that next time maybe.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think the main thing, assuming things can go wrong, is maybe we should have called out like, hey, do you want us to use new push time X or something like that, but kind of making sure we're agreed on a specific time and everything else that follows.
Who called for Rolex? Was it you guys?
That was me. Yeah, I called for Rolex, and I just was told to expedite it.
Yeah, that was a good move, and I thought we handled it well. We all just kind of chilled, made some circles. So anyway, cool. Okay, moving down the list here, Casino 4.
Yeah, so we were briefed as reserve. We went in to take some pet shots on the SA2 and SA3 that were closest to the Marshall line, and then which we did. It was a little difficult to understand whether or not we had ducks away or pigs away because we were using different brevity. But we did take shots. I think our first two pet shots were early. Second pet shots were on time to help cover the JSOWs. And then I had my -2 listening to focus. While we were in there, -2 came on, said, hey, it sounds like they need help with the cap. So switched over to focus, checked out of vacuum, and went over and held the cap for a short while we waited for Anvil to return.
Nice. So good essay there, good use of your wingman, and as a result, you guys kept the DCA lane from breaking through, it sounds like. Great job. Nice. So DCA guys, I know there was some MiG shenanigans with dodging missiles, but did any Seed guys or strikers die?
We lost a striker from a MiG.
I was on the north side, right? I was on the
Yeah, that was all the way up.
Yeah, anything on the south side?
Negative.
Cool. Mission accomplished by the DCA guys. Nice job. Okay, going down the list to Gambler 1, which was myself. So we were a 2-ship. We briefed a kind of bracket with a slap shot from somebody. So somebody firing a pet shot harm at the target we're going after and then kill it with a JDAM. It's something we practiced a few times. So on ingress, that worked. The SA6 stayed illuminating. He shot at me, not at my wingman. And I think we mission killed him with a harm. And then when we went to go attack him with the JDAM and finish him off, the wingman got smoked by an SA-15. So we lost SA there, and I couldn't get the harm off the rail quick enough because I was in GBU-38 mode. So I couldn't save poor Gohan, who gave his life for the cause. Lessons learned, need to have a little more time for briefing, I think. So I didn't get any time to do that because we were doing like our admin stuff. Mm-hmm. And then one person needs to be in harm mode, one person needs to be in bomb dropping mode would be a lesson learned for me. I could have my pickle button would have gone off a half second faster. And my wingman may have not have died. So exceptions, tactical exception. So the MiGs in the north really jumped us. They were really out of nowhere. So we need to be kind of heads up and make sure we're briefing when there's threats coming at us. So, but other than that, no admin exceptions. Yeah, that's it. I thought our controllers did an excellent job. They really were on their game today, and that was really fun. Moving down to Dice 2, Ricky.
Yeah, about the same thing. We'd briefed kind of the same plan, harm shooter and bomb dropper. I was worried going into this that dropping or pumping out coordinates between Vipers was going to be a mess. But I think people were actually pretty conservative about when they were pumping out their coordinates, so it wasn't a constant barrage of data. Might have seemed that way for some of the other non-Weasel Vipers, so I apologize for that, but 2 weeks, new update, it'll change. Yeah, we were having a little bit of trouble trying to manage flight organization, making sure we were where we needed to be, and we tried to make sure that we were the ones who would get shot at by the SAMs instead of the strikers as they were pumping in. Other than that, I think we killed our guys, we passed our coordinates, and I think it went well.
Okay, cool. Jackpot 3, Havoc. Or just, I guess this was, Havoc and Bogey Dope on this one.
Yeah, same thing, briefed. 2-ship went out. I had Havoc go in with the 38. I fired a harm to keep the 6 distracted. Shack on the 6, and then we just did a windmill in and out of Killbox Charlie to keep searching for other targets and passing coordinates. I think I screwed up one of the coordinates. Luckily, Havoc saved me on that. And then for admin exceptions, departure and approach, I screwed up big time. Had to have Havoc take the lead because I'm not too versed in that, so I gotta practice that. Unless Havoc got anything extra, that's all I've got.
No, that's good. We killed the 2 SA8s as well.
Yeah.
In Charlie?
Affirm.
Okay, cool. All right, Buck 1, Tide.
Sweet. Yeah, I think we went into it with a pretty okay game plan. I was busy, so I couldn't brief the 4-ship as well. But 4-ship F-15s going in on deed smack taskings. I think I overestimated how much consideration we had to put into it. It was very much like calling audible on the fly movements. And then I underestimated how many targets were going to be there. So initial push, we pushed in 3 and 4, and then my Wizzo grabbed a good radar map of it. And there was like 7 targets for one SA6 smack tasking. So we did the audible. We all 4 went in. We're able to smoke the SA6. We lost 2 to that North MiG. That's kind of on me as well, because I was thinking there was only MiGs to the south, because that was what was briefed. I might have missed the briefing where they said they can pop up to the north, but I thought that was going to be pretty much off limits for them. So when that popped up, I was like, it's probably no factor. They're like 60 miles away, and then sure shit, he calls defensive immediately after, and they get smacked by a MiG-29. So that was unfortunate. Something we'll work on in the future is just keeping not just trusting what the information is out there and like being able to think on the fly. Other than that, the departure was awesome. I love TACAN departures. TACAN arrivals are not ideal. I can talk more to that later, but for TACAN VFR arrival, it was just awkward having the approach played up and like trying to communicate as a 3-ship, and then like the point like Pinnacle being a TACAN radial just kind of broke my brain a little bit into a vectored initial, so it was a little weird. We definitely screwed it up a lot, so we'll try to work on that more as well. But that's all I got for Buck 1, unless I'm missing something.
Okay, cool. Tiger 2.
Hey, from Tiger 2, we were briefed that we were going to be D'd in Killbox Charlie, so we took off and held at Nebraska till we were pushed to the MLL, and we were past DD01 from focus. We switched over to vacuum and we prosecuted DD01, which is a SA6 4 times tail. 4 good GPU 12s off of that and cleaned that up, and then we went back out. Our second tasking, we were past DD04 and SA3 track radar and 4 tails. We did have 1 miss on that initial pass, so we had to reattack on 1, and then we cleaned that side up. Total of 5 expended on that row. Then we went back out. Nominal recovery. I think it was just a little tight for us, but good job to 2, 3, and 4 hanging on for that uneventful recovery after that.
Cool. Okay. Lastly, on the Badger 3.
Yeah, we were tasked to go to Killbox Charlie for deed. Did end up going there. We saw it was pretty busy when we got there and checked in, so we pressed west. And I know we had some leakers there, so they were within 40, so we got out of there and just held. Couldn't even check in with vacuum at the time. And once we did, we were given precise coords for 4 by SA6 tells. When we got there, it was actually 4 by ZSU. I think it was 56. Shacked all 3 of those, and then we got out. For the departure, we had a bit of a snafu. We lost our -2 to some sort of integrity check error for the server. We couldn't get it sorted, so we ended up being a 4 ship. The recovery, I missed that approach plate coming back. I just can't read. I can't read it in VR. The knee board, it's just too blurry. So, but thanks to the to approach for giving us the vectors and tower to get us on the deck safe.
We were very confused at what you were doing.
Real quick, on the server does not have integrity check turned on. Don't abuse that, but so that's one thing to note. It might just been a DCS issue. We also obviously don't use any mods, so yeah. So something to if you have a crash file or whatever, that's let us know.
Yeah, I think it was like Navy Marine Coordinates mod or something like that. It was blowed, so I'll get with him and see what happened there. I wasn't sure what the issue was, but he just couldn't get it up and running in time, so we just took off with the 3 ship.
Got it. Okay. Cool. All right, I'm gonna move down the list on the controllers here. We'll start with Sonaki radar.
Should we go through the list as well?
Oops, sorry.
Or am I given free reign?
Well, keep it short, but say whatever you want to say.
Right. So we briefed. I guess I'll just go through departure then, the recovery. So departure, we briefed the bimbo or plonk departures. Mostly were followed. I have a feeling that the waypoints might have been set in the jets incorrectly, because we had set.
In the jet.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. We had several aircraft fly exactly the wrong route, exactly the same wrong route. But since everything was very well separated, it didn't matter. Then for the arrival, it was very nice that Merlin didn't just give me 10, 11 flights at once. So I could kind of sequence them in a bit lower workload for me. But yeah, I think everything pretty much went as briefed, which is very surprising.
Cool. So for me on departure, just Reki, was there a bearing, like a cardinal direction or a bearing from the airfield for that departure? Did I miss it?
Yeah. So
Reki's maps.
On Reki's maps, it's a radial 300.
Oh, okay. For those of us that are just norm cores that don't know what that, I was like, what's 300 mean? All right, cool. Next time I'll know.
Yeah, so basically it was a VOR navigation we were doing, so that was pretty fun actually.
Nice.
Yeah, it was quite weird because lots of flights flew exactly the same incorrect path.
Yeah, I was
which
definitely eyeballing it. I was one of the
confused
ones
us.
flying the incorrect path. So next time I will know that that's radial 300. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I think maybe
cool.
what happened is some people took off and turned right to 300 and did not, in fact, intercept
Oh,
the 300 radial.
that's very possible. That's
Yeah.
very possible.
So if you guys don't know
Yeah.
if you don't know, there's a difference between flying a heading of 300 and intercepting the 300 radial. So those are two different things, and you should look them up if you're curious.
Yeah,
If you
so
want more
normally,
practice, join DC and they'll help you out.
yeah, so normally with West climb procedures,
Oh
that'll give
God,
you
why are you
initial
giving me
heading.
more responsibility? But no.
Well, it should have given
Genuinely,
an
if you
initial
want to
hang
heading.
on.
practice
We're gonna
these
let, wait,
kind
hey,
of
hey, we're gonna let Tide
Yeah.
just
Yeah. It should have given an
lightness.
initial heading, but that's semantics. It should say turn heading 360 on departure into runway to intercept radial. But I mean, yeah, it's easy to figure out, but if you don't know, you don't know. So that'd just be something to add in the future.
Okay, cool. All right. Anything else, syntax?
Not particularly. If you want to do these sort of weird procedures, join DC. We do that quite a lot because we're masochists.
Nice. Okay, cool. I have somebody listed as Bronco Major. I think it's a new person to me. Is that Tower?
That's correct.
Cool. Go for it.
Good evening, guys. I have only a few points. So when you have given an instruction, just read it back what I say to you. When you're given given a instruction, like after the initial report left downwind, just say Wilco and then report it when you are in it, what you have to report. And if you didn't understand what I said to you, just say again to me. Just ask me. It's no problem, no shame for that if you didn't understand what you have to do. And don't copy a clearance, please. When I cleared you for takeoff, just read it back and do not say copy. And in a controlled airspace, what we had today, you only as a military aircraft have to report base gear down. Otherwise, I said to you what to report. So that's the only thing you have to report because I see you on radar. But it went all well, at least to the last flight. I give them outside of my airspace the heading instruction for the final, but no problem for that. It was still amazing to control you guys. Thank you for that.
Cool. Thank you for coming out. On to ground with Harry.
He's no longer here, and Harry was replaced by Jellybean, but he
Okay.
had to rush off to work.
No problem. Tell him.
But from what I heard, it was all pretty good. So
Okay. Cool. Yeah, the one thing that we could have figured out was like taxi to, I don't know if it's hold short or ramp or there was a discrepancy there. So something for the next time.
I think that's
Okay.
just Sanaki's aerodrome layout being very confusing.
Yeah. Some people were like kind of sitting there for arming up, and some people were taxiing straight through. So, okay, cool. And on to our tactical controllers. And focus.
Hey guys, so first off, very good job up in the air. It seemed like every one of you knew pretty well what you were doing. I'm going to echo a little bit of what everyone had said before. So what we had briefed was pretty strict alignment to the timeline, and that went out the window, I think, just because of issues getting people off the ground. Again, no fault or blame to any one person. I know the timeline was a little short. For what actually happened, we did get the Talds and the JSOWs off on Killbox Alpha and Charlie as expected, a little behind time, which I think may have caused the JSOWs to get a little bit ahead of the Talds and cause a little bit of problems getting those initial SA targets knocked out. But outside of that, communications between the individual seeds and deeds was pretty well done between Vacuum, myself, and everybody else. I can add, I feel like we needed more defensive counter air in the north and the south. I think for what we were dealing with on that single south lane, we didn't have enough flex available to properly cover the areas that we needed. But outside of that, I don't have much more that I can add. I think it was handled very professionally. And when we had to switch you between channels in ways we weren't expecting, the pilots did a good job of getting back to us, staying checked in with us, and letting us know what was going on with their planes and being in good communication with us. I don't have anything more to add to that. I would say that after we go through Zombie and Mario, I think Saber has some other things he wanted to add, simply acting as the admin MC behind the two of us to better make this happen. I can't speak for departure, marshal, recovery. Everybody coming up to me was pretty well briefed on where they needed to be and where they needed to go. So props to ATC and the ground crews for getting them ready for me. Made it much easier for us to get checked in and get people where they needed to go, even if we were Rolex plus 10. So overall, good fun mission. I'm very happy with the pilots and their interactions with us. You guys did a great job.
Cool.
Thanks.
Okay. Do we have an AWACS mission commander for this? That's pretty awesome. Cool. Okay, so let's go down the list here. Down to Zombie.
Hey guys, so what was briefed was it's gonna be single lane DCA, pretty standard. I had Anvil 1 through 4 check in. First picture was a 3 Group Vic. Anvil targeted appropriately, and I treated the majority of the threat, but there was a leaker that unfortunately took Anvil 2 through 4 down. At that point, I went out to focus to get casino flight inbound, and they kind of cleaned up the rest of it, but they had the RTB shortly afterwards due to fuel states. Overall, if there weren't, as we were saying before, like if there weren't, I guess, DCS isms, I think the mission from our end would have been quite a bit better. It was just like the fucking wiggle room for the guys. The DCS wiggle that the MiGs were doing that kind of screwed over the DCA cap. Overall, Anvil flight and casino flight both, their comm was good. Everybody was on timeline, and I have no complaints with how they performed.
Very cool. So what I'm just back to something that Merlin said, just kind of, it seems like it doesn't matter if it's cold start, hot start, whatever. It's like 50 minutes seems to be our.
We need the time.
It's like there's not even, it doesn't even change geographically, even if we're closer or further. It's like this weird anomaly where it's 50 minutes every time. So like, what were we today, Reki? 45, 40?
It was 30 minutes to get the first ones off, and then everyone else was 45, 55.
Yeah, doesn't seem how we sort of slice the mission. It's always, takes 45 to
Yeah,
get everybody in there.
I thought like, the hold point is directly above the starting airfield. Like we should be able to go faster, but
Yeah, I guess it's not the travel time, it's the taxi time, and then
yeah. That's right
so, and the funny part was like after we Rolex, I was like, oh, 50. That's what we Rolex to. So anyway, it's just something to think about. Cool. So thank you, or it wasn't Zombie, it was Goliath this time, right? Not Doghouse.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. And then Saber as vacuum.
Yeah, it was Mario was running vacuum, but I was kind of talk quickly for the rest of it. So I was personally running the background AIC coordination and seat taxi 2. So pretty much just echo. I think the big issues we had is I don't know that we necessarily needed more DCA, but we should have had a more concrete DCA fill plan. So like if Anvil goes down, who is responsible for picking up the AIC, and do we have enough of them? And then I think we needed a more concrete plan on how to coordinate between the controllers, because we threw some frequencies together at the last second, but we definitely didn't break down like areas of responsibility of like who is supposed to be watching the air picture, who's assigned ground tasking stuff. Because those, we definitely dropped the ball. Probably me personally dropped the ball on those. The one MiG flight that came up to the north, because we should have given you guys more warning on that. It was like a last second thing, because we were really heads down on the air to ground picture. Trying to pass coordinates. And third, I think it was just a little bit too much for the number of controllers we had on the air to ground picture. We were definitely, there were some aircraft who spent some time sitting around because couldn't work up taskings quickly enough across the back and forth. So I think if it had been like 4 flights and 2 kill boxes, that would have been about right for the 2 controllers with the 1 and 1 mission commander that we had. If we'd had like another controller, we could probably have worked the 6 flights.
Yep, makes sense. Realistically, you'd have double what you had at least, I would think. So, cool. All right, that is it. So just to kind of summarize here, I have a tough time hitting anything shorter than 45-50 minutes for a VUL time or a marshal to VUL, no matter what the circumstances are. Some sort of ground taxi admin stuff that we can simplify a little bit, and then tactically, kind of at a higher planning level, some more flexibility with backfilling in the various spots. So does that kind of summarize anything? Anybody else have any major takeaways?
Turn off jamming.
Quiz. Yeah. Okay, cool. So what I'll say is, like, we've been trying to do this dynamic tasking, smack tasking thing for a while, and I think Reki finally nailed it with this mission design, and all of you controllers helped us nail it too. We've been trying to do this type of mission for a while. It's a shame Road Dog's not here because it's his favorite thing. So I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who showed up and sort of elevated the experience that much more. So really appreciate all of our controllers, all the participants. Everybody was great, and yeah, Reki deserves all the credit for this one. So
nice job.
That is it for our debrief here. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks for the mission.
Anvil for target lead group Bullseye 11380 36,000. Anvil for Goliath lead group 45 miles. 4 skate right. Anvil for Strobes. Anvil for Goliath strobe range 29 34,000 hostile. Anvil for target middle group. Sword northern. Anvil 3 Goliath lead group 25 miles. Anvil 4 outright. Burn through's 30 miles. First defending. Correction, first defending. 3-4 flow 280. Goliath lead group maneuver. Passing 15 miles. 3 continue. Goliath lead group drag. Goliath lead group vanish. Check right 300. Angle 1, target middle group, sorted southern, 35,000. Angle 1, Goliath, middle group, 40 miles. Anvil 2 targeted middle group, 36,000, sorted northern. Anvil 1, box 3, middle group, sorted southern, crank right. Group Bullseye 11572, 32,000.
Goliath Middle Group Maneuver Drag. Group Bullseye 11770, 31,000, passing Middle Group.
Anvil 1 passing. Anvil 1 continue. Anvil 3 Strobes, trail group.
Goliath strobe range 31 and 31,000, hostile.
Anvil 1 Fox 3 trail group, crank right. Connection Anvil 1 3 Fox 3 trail group. Anvil 1 Spike 29 east.
Anvil 1 spike range 31, 30,000, flank southwest hostile.
Anvil 4 outright. Anvil 1 outright. Anvil 3-4 flood 290.
Goliath middle group north arm Bullseye 124 68 24,000 hostile passing group Bullseye 124 68 23,000 track southeast hostile.
Port check block.
First spike.
Target group Bullseye 123 71 20.
Anvil 2 Fox 3 middle group north arm 30,000 crank right. Anvil outright.
Anvil 2 below 290.
Goliath group Bullseye 12265 17,000 hot hostile.
Anvil 4 continue cold. Anvil 3 hot left.
Strip the mouth trail.
1.
Goliath middle group north arm beam maneuver beam southwest.
4 hot right. Anvil 3.
Spike 2965.
Anvil 3 Fox 3 group Bullseye 124 60 32,000. Cranking right.
Anvil 4 Fox 3 leading off Bullseye 135 57 14,000. Goliath all groups beam southwest.
Anvil 3 outright. Anvil 1 hot left. Anvil 3 shot trash. Anvil 1 2 ship in, short skate, 1 target, hot left.
Goliath middle group north arm hot maneuver hot.
defensive.
Four hot right, look low.
Anvil 1 out right. 2 clear split. Anvil 1 defensive.
Tally splash.
Anvil 3, middle group north arm bra, 11016, 15,000, hot hostile.
Anvil 3 clean.
Anvil 2 status.
Anvil 1, glide, Anvil 2, down, Bullseye. Unlucky jet, Bullseye, 14643. Middle group north arm bra, 11078.
3-4 outright.
Hot hostile.
About abort 300, mid 15.
Hey, if you made it this far, thanks for sticking around. In this section of the video, I want to do a little after action, maybe identify some lessons learned, look at root causes, and corrections for the future. In this section, my intent is to focus on tactical execution, but first a few remarks on admin. So on the admin side of the things, we had some taxi confusion, mode 1 issues, bad form, and unexpected cloud layers. Regardless of whether these things are off standard or off brief, these are admin items or small potatoes compared to mission execution. So compartmentalize these problems and don't let them distract you or subtract from your situational awareness. So on the tactical execution side, there's a lot to unpack. In fact, we could spend several hours talking about this stuff. I'm going to do my best to consolidate and keep this brief. If I miss something, let me know in the comments or Discord. Big picture, it all comes down to situational awareness. This starts in the mission planning phase. Simple things like cap anchor points, defensive commit lines, lane markers, and no cross lines can all help to build and maintain situational awareness. More importantly, an assessment of the enemy likely course of action and chair flying can go a long ways. We expected MiG-29s, and we planned the active short timeline to counter the AA-12 and AA-10. We briefed launch and leave flows to avoid merging and dealing with an HMD Hobbs-capable adversary slinging the AA-11 Archer. While we mentioned EW and reviewed strobe mechanics, I know I didn't consider what effect it would have on my timeline, and more importantly, my situational awareness. This is evident in the first volley, where I audible to skate to the right, but due to jamming, we blow through our shot window, miss our crank at transition range, take a low PK shot, and execute now inside DOR. Given first launch opportunity for red air, an update to short skate may have been more appropriate. The key takeaway is we are already off timeline, and this could have been avoided with a little more SA from planning. Put simply, our radar sucks, they will likely to jam us, expect locks inside 30 miles, which is less than TR, so simply expect short skates. Part 2 of our situational awareness discussion comes down to comms. Good comm can drastically enhance situational awareness, bad comm or excessive comm can completely suck SA away from the element or flight. Again, look at the first leaf. I used directive targeting to target Anvil 4 on the lead group single contact. Why did I do that? Our standards have picture targeting default for a reason. We had good Link 16, I have a capable wingman, he already knew his targeting responsibility at 40 miles. My comm was potentially unnecessary. Was there any value in using directive targeting over picture targeting? I think not. There was no ambiguity. The oversimplification here is that if I'm talking, I'm not thinking big picture SA. If you're listening, you're focused in. I'm not trying to drive this to the extreme because obviously comm can and does enhance situational awareness. The point I'm trying to make is to be mindful of what effect comm has on SA. This leads us to brevity, formality, and the BVR comm's cadence. Generally, this was accomplished fairly throughout the mission. However, as comms start to break down, it's a pretty good indicator of loss in SA. For example, the passing call by the Colt element lead. This should happen at 10 miles depth between the elements. A simple reform or continue drives flight execution. Now, with Link 16, a good argument could be made that it's unnecessary since the cold element should have SA. However, it's a useful pacing tool. For the hot element lead, it drives an assessment of groups within targeting depth and a decision to continue the grind or reform into the wall. This is a classic example of short brevity which can help drive situational awareness. The last point I want to highlight on comms is formality. What I mean by this is saying something the same way every time. Our cold ops communication per standard uses the format tactic flow targeting. For example,
Channel 1, 2 ship in, short skate, 1 target, hot left.
Versus
Anvil 4, continue cold, Anvil 3, hot left.
Here, a simple use of the tactic flow targeting and stagger back would have removed ambiguity for number 4. Alright, to close out this video, I'm just going to speed this process up a little bit and just scrub through the Tacview, and we'll anchor on any kind of important areas. So initially, right, this is what we talked about. Just a really poor skate flow, missed the transition range. Obviously here, first launch opportunity could have updated to a short skate. Hit our transition range basically at TR, right? We could have executed a stiff arm, a crank, and then still shot with a direct entry into the short skate. So that was a very low PK shot. This guy did not maneuver very well, and we got lucky, and so that lead group has now been attrited. Here we've got the grinder going, right? This is actually looking pretty decent in terms of kind of big picture grinder mechanics. One thing here is that we're off blocks. So, you know, cold element, hot element blocks is in our contract. Now, Link 16 makes deconfliction very easy, but that would be kind of a nitpick point. And then the other thing here is just lateral separation, kind of preserving some of that lateral separation is still valuable in the grinder. So first element here, they're coming through, they get good sorts, good shots, and then we attrited one of the guys there from that middle group. So that's pretty cool. This guy's in the defensive. Here's the trail group, and bad tactic flow targeting call, but basically I had called that I was targeting. The reason for this is going into it today, we wanted to preserve like a delouse opportunity. We wanted to balance shots. So if I don't say any targeting, picture targeting is going to be standard, and then 4 is going to actually target this guy. When I say, 3 target, it's basically telling him to sanitize. If this was a 2 contact, if I wanted him to share in, I'd say 3 target, 2 sort. But here I'm just trying to be the shooter so that we're kind of balanced, because he already shot once. Now I'm going to shoot, and we're just going to make sure that everybody has AMRAMs, because we're thinking kind of long term here. So let's assess targeting depth. This is 6 miles. So basically outside of targeting depth for a launch and leaf, we're looking at 5 mile targeting depth here. So this goes actually decent shot. Cold ops is looking okay, but one thing here, right? The flow direction could have corrected the flow and actually got us kind of keeping the grinder a little bit prettier. So we started off with a 20 mile grinder. We're now down to a 10 mile grinder. And this is one of the things that I'm noticing is hey, our grinder's starting to collapse. So these guys are going in. Again, nice shot on a single guy in targeting depth. And this guy was real lucky. If we go to this picture here, 500 feet, right? Like 190, 150 feet. So just unlucky. These guys have a little bit of a form problem, but that's easy to fix, right? Cold ops is our time to fix that. So we're pitching in. And actually, this is the one I wanted to anchor on. So back to the brevity thing, non-standard comms. I basically was like, hey, 4, continue cold, 3 hot left. So a couple things. Why did I go left, right? Like, should have gone right. And then I should have just used tactic flow targeting with the stagger back. And the reason for the stagger back here was because of how close we were, down to 8 miles. Really concerned that we'd all be kind of running cold. So I wanted to break out the element, separate us here, and get him basically with depth. Unfortunately, the comm was missed, and we just pitched back in. We pitch in together.
Anvil 4, continue cold, Anvil 3, hot left.
Yeah, so just poor comm there, right? And then also, big picture, the fact that I've now broken up the grinder, pitched back the wrong way, what that's telling me here in the after action is just like very low SA. I was low SA. All right, so we're pitching in. This guy's at 14,000. He is the leading edge. This guy was 31,000. And so for whatever reason, I decided to target the high guy, and I was thinking he was fast. He was actually not nearly as fast as what I was thinking he was. Surprisingly, right? Like my 4's actually pitching in with me, and he correctly shoots leading edge. So that's going to end up being advantageous and lucky. Yeah. So this guy does the DCS defense, which is just throw the lift vector around, and it absolutely just demolishes the AMRAM. Okay.
Ammo 1, 2 ship in, short skate, 1 target, hot left.
Good use of the tacti-flow targeting, and then these guys are cruising in. So this is when our things have really started to break down. So we're going to just kind of play it a little bit slower here.
12,000. Ammo 1, targeted group, Bullseye 1, 3, 2, 60, 20,000. 2 sanitize.
Yeah, so what I think is happening is that basically we have a untargeted group on the nose that we did not see. So if I go to above sea level, and you can see this is a hot contact, 12,500. This guy's sanitizing, and he's probably checking high AOR here, right? So just under him. Maybe degraded link in that we're not getting the low guy on link 16. And then this guy being targeted at the guy at 20,000. Basically 20 miles, right? STT. No detection on this guy. So we have a low altitude contact that we're missing. So before we look at that, I just want to maybe comment. One of my major learning points is that when SA is degraded, and you can start to notice that in yourself when you're, messing up the comms, you got a helmet fire going. We always really focus on staying hot, staying offensive, staying nose hot to get that SA with our radar. But this would have been a good opportunity to maybe take a breather, flow a little bit cold a little bit longer. Yes, they're running us down. Yes, we can't stay cold permanently. But just a simple flowing cold, fix the form, get a picture call, and get our SA back. Take a moment to pause and get SA, because we were just we're in the soup here. All right, so these guys are hot, and we'll play it again.
Ammo 1, middle group north arm, Bullseye 144 51 12,000.
Ammo 1, targeted group, Bullseye 1, 3, 2, 60, 20,000. 2 sanitize.
Yeah, so he's looking at this guy. There's a sanitized comm, which was already implied, but just to fill in comm there. And this guy's completely undetected.
1, Fox 3, group 133, 58, 19,000, right. Choose defensive.
So right there on that that Fox 3 group comm. One of the things we had briefed is with link 16, with good group labels, we don't actually have to say Bullseye. We can just say Fox 3 trail group, Fox 3 lead group, Fox 3 arm, blah, blah, blah. Once you start hearing the Bullseye, that's kind of an indication like, hey, I have no idea who this guy is. I'm shooting him though, right? So the group labels are starting to fall off as our SA is falling off. And this guy, completely unobserved.
2-4 hot right, look low.
A12.
Ammo 1 out right, 2 clear split.
A12 entry, and then basically did not know how close he was. The defense wasn't as aggressive as 2 probably would have liked. So for me here, you heard the hot right, the 2 look low. Basically, I'm trying to get us sanitizing low blocks because I'm starting to assess like, hey, we're not getting them on link. So they're probably down low. Wow, very lucky sternwest drag defense here.
Tally splash.
So I'm seeing the smoke from 2. You know, I wasn't sure what that was. What's going to happen here is I'm actually going to miss 2 comms. I'm going to miss Goliath giving us a 16-mile call, and then there's a big block on the radio, and then there's a 6-mile call, which playing the tapes back, I completely hear it. What I'm going to end up doing here is basically having us go out, update to an abort, and turn cold right in front of this guy in sternwest. So execution-wise, there's 2 factors that are happening. One is my situational awareness as to where this guy is, not on the link, and then 2 is bad radar sanitization. So looking at the tapes, I was thinking I'm in a 40-mile scale. I'm actually in an 80-mile scale, and I just don't have my radar looking low enough here. So I told 2, hey, look low. I was going to look low as well because I was worried about low altitude contacts, but just completely screwed up the radar mechanics. So that's just a good example of go back to the basics, and don't wait till you turn hot to start thinking about that stuff. You're in cold ops. You're flowing cold. That is the time to get the radar set up. That is the time to think about what you're going to be doing on the next hot. Because we're looking at the time here, so 59:30, just how quickly this goes down, and then you'll hear the comm and see basically how I get my wingman killed. One other item here is that we don't have 2 groups, so why have him pitch back with me, low SA? We're doing launch and leave, right? Like if I'm going to go back into the Bonsai, yeah, maybe I want him because we're going to update to a bracket on this aware guy, but that wasn't the game plan. I should have had him stagger back. Just because, yeah, that would have given a little bit more control to the elements here.
Anvil 3, middle group north arm bra, 11016 15,000, hot hostile.
So 16 miles, right above mine. Not seeing him.
Anvil 2 status.
Anvil 1, Goliath, Anvil 2, down, Bullseye. Unlucky jet, Bullseye, 14643. Middle group, north arm, growl, 11078.
3-4 outright.
Hot hostile.
About abort 300 mid 15.
Comes the archers to the tail. And that's both of us. So key takeaway here, that first call, 16 miles, I should have updated my timeline. Hey, I'm above Mar, right? Like I'm right there at Mar. And the next item there is just going to be, I'm clean. I don't see him. Let's abort. I don't have SA on the sky. Let's abort immediately. I think what was happening is task saturation, helmet fire. I'm just overly saturated with comms. I'm starting to miss AIC comms. I'm seeing that, okay, we just lost number 2, and I compound the issue. Instead of getting my SA back, aborting the element, yes, they stay hot, but getting some SA back, it's just, bumbling straight in, and then getting shot in the face, or getting shot and getting 4-shot. So root cause here, SA. Secondary cause, bad radar mechanics. I hope you enjoyed this debrief. Hope you enjoyed the video. If I'm missing anything, let me know. Thanks.